Hello, church, and welcome to another online devotional as we're trying to stay connected while we are apart one from another. So today we are continuing in our theme of endurance. And I'm going to read to you a little something from the book of 1 Kings. Our biblical character today that I've been thinking about is the widow of Zarephath. And in this text is the prophet Elijah and the widow. And God says to Elijah, "Go to live in the village of Zarephath, near the city of Sidon. There is a widow there who will feed you, and I have given her my instructions." So he went to Zarephath, and he arrived at the gates of the village. He saw a widow gathering sticks, and he asked her, "Would you please give me a cup of water?" And as she was going to get it, he called to her, "Bring me a bite of bread, too." But she said, "I swear by the Lord your God, I don't have a single piece of bread in the house. I have only a little flour left in a little jar and a little cooking oil at the bottom of a jug. I was just gathering these few sticks to cook this last meal, and then my son and I will die." Oof. Talk about a lady who through this drought is trying to endure a major natural disaster. It says that God, and something that stood out to me that I hadn't seen in the past when I've read this text many times, God had told her Elijah's coming, but even with God telling her through her prayer life or through a dream, however that God did that, she's still trying to hold on to how is this going to work? I've already got my son and we don't have any food in the house left. There's barely any water. This is going to be our last meal. We're going to die out here. And now God wants me to take care of this other guy? And I've been thinking about the toll on this woman, psychologically, physically, emotionally, preparing to die, as she's trying to also hold on to any spark of faith that she has through a season of great drought. Now, you can think about that symbolically or realistically. For her, it was a reality. For us, the drought may be of being able to be together, of embracing a friend, of going to work, of playing with the kids on a playground, whatever it may be. But we are a people who are hurting and trying to endure through this, and hoping for a return to life as we know it. And as I was thinking about the widow of Zarephath and her life with God and the amazing endurance I think she would have had to have and the trust that she has, I thought about a different theological perspective, one that a theologian who I really enjoy, Rocky Balboa. And as Rocky is talking about in Rocky 1, his first life experiences, he says some pretty powerful things, actually. They weren't meant to be theologically powerful, but I found them to be so. He says, "Let me tell you something that you already know. The world ain't sunshine and rainbows. It can be very mean and nasty place, and it'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it's not," he says, "it ain't how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning life is done. Every champion who was once a contender who refused to give up." I love that. Every champion's once a contender who knew that they might not win, but they refused in their resolve to give up. And a great part of endurance is this refusal to throw in the towel. A refusal to say, God's done here. A refusal to say that though everything feels overwhelming and I don't know the way out of this tunnel, I know God's got me. And though I don't know how I'm going to make tomorrow's meal happen, I trust that somehow it will, because I know God has me. His eyes on the sparrow, I know He watches over me. So don't give up. Think about how God is with us in these thin places, these tough moments. And like Rocky, get some fighter's courage. My favorite quote of Rocky has nothing to do with this, but it's his trainer Mick saying, as he's taking the spit and water pails around the gym, You fight like a gorilla, kid. But you got heart. Maybe what's needed now is a whole lot of heart. Don't worry about the technique, but let us share with each other from the heart who God is to us as people of compassion, joy, hope, and yes, strong endurance. May God's peace be with you this day. Amen.